Hi, I'm Tom Scarpello of Revology Cars, and this is car number 186, a 1967 Shelby GT500 Super Snake in dark blue metallic with Wimbledon white stripes and Ivory Nappa leather interior. Today I'm going to take you on a walk around of this car and we're going to go for a drive. Let's get started. Okay, 1967 Shelby GT500 Super Snake. I've talked about what makes the Super Snake unique in previous videos, but just quickly, outboard driving lamps in the grille, the unique three-stripe treatment. It's a unique hood with the vents in the hood, and of course the badging, Super Snake badging in the grille, Super Snake badging on the fender, also on the deck lid and inside the car. This car rides on the 17x8 styled aluminum 10-spoke wheel for a very authentic Shelby appearance. So in the interior, this car is equipped with full Nappa leather interior. It's a Mercedes ivory. It's called porcelain in German. Nappa leather black dash pad. Laser cut veneer is standard on the Revology 67 Mustangs, including the Shelbys. This car is also equipped with the square weave 100% wool carpet. This is all hand trimmed and fit. This car also has the Audio C, which is the door speaker configuration of our premium sound system. So you get the door speakers for a bit better sound imaging. So altogether, really nice, very sharp color combination. I personally really like this dark blue, white stripe, the contrasting interior color. It's a really, really nice combination. So in these videos, I talk a lot about why people buy a Revology Mustang or Shelby GT. I haven't talked about why they don't buy. And unsurprisingly, the #1 reason by far is the price. And we're asked often, why does it cost so much? And it's a fair question. Now, to put it in perspective, the typical Revology Mustang GT costs a little over 4 times as much as a brand new 2024 Mustang GT. It's a little over 4 times as much. And you might say, well, I understand Ford's process is highly automated. It's a high volume assembly plant. Ours is all manual. Okay, yes, that does account for some of the cost differential, but really not the significant amount. The big thing that differentiates our process from what Ford and other OEMs do is that we're building the car with parts that are made from low volume tools. And that means that there is a much higher degree of variability part to part and a much higher degree of fitment that's required to make everything fit properly. And I'm talking primarily about the body panels, but it also goes for the interior parts as well. So I'm going to take you inside the body shop and just show you an example, a before and after example that I think will illustrate that point. Okay, so we're here in the body shop. It's Sunday morning, so there's no one here. So it's quiet, so we can actually talk. I'm going to show you before and after to give you an idea of the amount of work that we have to do to get the fit and flushness that we are able to achieve. So this fender was just hung on this car, and what you can see here is the interface between the fender and the door and the cowl. So you got a huge gap and uneven flushness to the cowl, huge gap to the windshield trim, and we actually test fit, or we use test fit parts, representative pieces of trim to show how the interface is going to look after we do all the work. But you can see this huge gap here. I can stick my finger through it. You've got metal to metal contact here between the fender and the A-pillar. You've got a horrible gap between the fender and the door. The flushness is not there. You've got crashing here between the fender and the door, just all the way down the gap the whole thing has to be worked. So we'll go over and look at a car 2 stations down. This is car 217, so 2 stations down, car 215. So now you can see your fender to cowl. You've got a good interface there. The flushness is correct. You've got an appropriately sized gap. You've got a decent gap to the windshield base. Your fender to door interface is good. You've got a consistent gap all the way down. You've got flushness. You know, very, very slight fender outboard of the door, which you want to minimize wind noise. But there's the number of hours of labor that go into that. I don't even want to talk about it. But then you have to consider every single other interface where the headlamp bucket attaches to the fender to door, door to quarter, quarter to the tail lamp extension, the deck lid. So all of these interfaces take time to get the fit and flushness that we're able to achieve. That is a big part of it. So I hope that, you know, look inside the body shop is helpful to understand better, you know, what we're dealing with. And, you know, when you think about every single interface between every single panel, and the gap and the flushness has to be perfect, you can see where the time really stacks up. And then you've got the surface, so we call it Class A surface. That's the outer surface of the panel. The low volume tooled parts do not produce the same quality Class A surface that you'd get from a high volume production tooling. And so that requires a lot more labor as well. So, you know, it's not to say that there's anything wrong with the low volume tooled parts. That's just the nature of low volume tooling. It's essentially soft. It's also called soft tools. They're less expensive to make, and typically used for prototype parts. You know, if you've seen a concept car at an auto show, for example, that would have been, you know, built from soft tools. I mean, everything's designed nowadays in CAD, and then the soft tools are made, parts are created, prototypes are built, and things can be adjusted before you make the investment in the production tools. It's you know, until you get into volumes of, say, 10,000 units a year, it's just not feasible to make production level tools. I mean, even if we were to make our own parts using production level tools, we really wouldn't be able to get any price reduction, because we would have to try to recover that investment over a small volume. So, you know, what you see is we get in, kind of box into this you know, economic equation, and this is where we are in this segment of the market, building the kind of volume that we're building. These are just the market economics, and, you know, essentially that's why these cars cost as much as they do. Would I love to be able to sell the cars for less? Of course. So many people would love to have one, but the price is out of reach. I get it. I totally get it. But the economics are what they are. So we do the best we can. I think we do better than anyone in this segment that's doing anything similar. Number one, because we just focus on one thing. All we do is 65 to 68 Mustangs and Shelby GTs. So we're able to get some economies of scale by doing the same thing repetitively. And then the other thing is that we do more volume than anyone. I think we're doing 5 cars a month these days. And that gives us some economies of scale as well on purchasing. Not a lot, but something. You know, a lot of people out there make a lot of promises and a lot of claims. So that's fine if, you know, you want to consider someone who's making a claim that they can do it better. I strongly encourage you to do the research, go visit them. Above all, drive a car, definitely drive a car. If someone will not let you drive the car, run away. Don't, because there's one thing to make a car look good. It's a totally different thing to make a car that is fun to drive. It's well engineered and drives and functions like a car. but you can't see that by looking at it. So, you know, do your research. I'm very convinced you'll be back to see us.